and welcome to part 1 of our free training for agency owners, consultants, and service providers. My name is Milica, and in today's video we'll talk about how to create a standardized client sales process that will help you win new clients and boost your sales. But before we do that, let's take a moment and see what a sales process really is. A sales process is a set of repeatable steps or phases that guide a prospective buyer from the early stage of awareness to a closed sale. Depending on the complexity of the sale, there will be somewhere between 3 to 6 steps in the process, but since companies tend to adjust the entire system according to their needs, this number can definitely differ. Here at Infinity, we've created a 5-step process which you can use and adjust to your own company and clients. Let's quickly go through it. Step 1. Prospect. This is where you get to add your new lead to the CRM, do some research about them, and then schedule the first meeting. It's all about learning more about them. Step 2. Meeting. Here you actually get to hold a meeting with a potential client and see what they expect out of you. In this phase, you can also send a pre-meeting survey to gather even more information. Step 3. Proposal. If you decide that your new lead qualifies for the proposal, this is where you get to create it and send it to them. Step 4. Agreement. This is where you follow up on your proposal, perhaps schedule another meeting, and send your client the contract for your future cooperation. Step 5. Closed. You officially close your client once they have agreed to your terms and signed the contract. When that's done, you need to set up everything for the onboarding process. Okay, so now that we know what the steps are, let's see why it's important for you to have a great sales process in place. A great sales process creates a routine within your sales department and ensures your sales don't stagnate. It automatically eliminates disorganization and the chances of missing out on a promising prospect, allowing your team to focus on effective strategies. It also helps you track your prospects, what you need to do in each stage, and what you need to improve to get better results. This also allows you to clearly see which steps present challenges and which ones provide value, so that none of your potential clients fall through cracks. Finally, it ensures your team always has repeatable and actionable steps in place they can follow for each prospect without needing to create a new process each time. This also makes for a smoother onboarding experience because your new team members understand exactly what they need to do. Now we come to the fun part, what you learn in this training. We'll make sure that you know how to create and connect lead forms, build your own custom CRM, track your sales pipeline, organize and manage client information, track customer timelines, define sales steps and organize tasks, create a repeatable process, track sales metrics, and organize all of this in a single place, that is Infinity. So, let's get started with our training. This is Infinity's dashboard, and something that you'll always see first when you open up your account. On this dashboard, you can have one or more workspaces which generally represent your business, and within that workspace, different boards that can be anything from clients to departments. This is also where a client CRM board is, so let's go ahead and open it. Okay, so we are now in the first folder of the board called Pipeline. Once you start your sales process, this will be your first stop, the place where you'll enter your new leads and track your sales pipeline. There are a couple ways for you to enter and collect leads in Infinity. If you have your leads in another place, you can easily import them in CSV format into your board. You can add all your leads manually into the system. You can automate the process of collecting leads through Zapier. And you can use Infinity's custom form option to collect new leads straight into your board. To show you how forms work in Infinity, we've created a form in this folder which you can use to gather all of your leads into Infinity. What's great about forms is that once you create one, you can make it shareable and send the link to whoever needs to see it. You can also embed it directly on your website. Let's take a quick look at how the form looks when it's embedded. This is our public roadmap page where we've embedded our form for collecting suggestions from our users. You can of course use it to collect leads or any information that you need straight into Infinity. The leads and all the information will be saved directly in Infinity as an item and its attributes. Now, let's go back to our pipeline folder and see how the form actually works. For this, I'll click on the Open Form button right here, but what you can also do is get the shareable link and open it in another window. As you can see, it looks more or less the same as the embedded one on our website. Let's fill it out quickly, as if your new lead would. So, I'll fill out the name and the email address first, because they're required fields, and then I'll just go ahead and fill out the phone number as well. I'll skip the LinkedIn URL for now, since it's not a required field. You can see that it doesn't have the red asterisk next to it. I'll also enter the name of my company, and then pick an industry from the drop-down menu and the company size. The website is not a required field either, but let's put something there in any case. Okay, so once that's done, I'll click on the Contact Us button to submit my answers. Now, let's go back to the first tab of the pipeline folder, where we'll find the information I just filled out. The information I just entered is in the last row of the table, and you can further customize it if needed, as well as add additional attributes or edit the existing ones. For now, we have lead names, the company they work for, the stage they're in, their website, LinkedIn profile, the industry they're in, email address, company size, progress bar, how much they're worth, phone numbers, and the date when the lead was created in the CRM. In the Pipeline tab, you have all of the lead information easily accessible, and you can track the status of each lead and how they're progressing as they move through the funnel. We even have a not qualified column where you can drag and drop all the leads that don't make it past the meeting phase. In the Close tab, we filtered out only the closed clients. In the Industry tab, we've grouped them by industry, and in the next tab, our leads are grouped based on how much they're worth. That way, you'll know exactly which leads might be most valuable to you. Finally, we have a timeline which displays exactly when you've closed your clients and how much time it took you to do that. Now, how does the actual sales work? In order to close a client, we need to go through several steps or stages. First, whenever a new lead comes in, it gets the prospect label or status. After that, we create a sales process for that particular lead. The most important thing here is to create a predefined, repeatable, and scalable sales process you can later on use and improve for each client. Here's an example of a sales process which you can adapt to your own needs. We put it in a folder and call it Master Template. You'll notice that the sales status is the same as in the Pipeline folder, but here we've defined every step of the process clearly and made it even easier to track the status as your lead moves along the funnel. Every time we get a new lead, we will duplicate our Master Template folder and get a blank canvas. That is the sales process which will then adapt to that new lead. Let's duplicate the folder. We will call this folder Axon, which is the name of one of the new leads in our pipeline. Since Axon is a new lead, we will start with the tasks from the prospect stage. Okay, so we've already added the client to the CRM, meaning we can tick that off. Since we need to notify the account manager about the new lead, we'll just go into the comment section, write a note for them, and tag them. They will receive a notification that will help them stay up to date with the progress of the tasks. Okay, so this task is now 100% complete, and we can mark it done. While we're here, we can enter more details, for example, when we completed the task, update the progress bar, or assign a certain team member to the task. Once that's done, we can continue going through our tasks and completing them. For this, we'll switch to the All Tasks tab because it's a bit quicker to complete tasks in the table view. Now that we've completed all the tasks in the prospect stage, our lead will be moving into the meeting stage of the process. Let's update that in our pipeline as well. Next, we'll move on to the tasks in the meeting stage. As you complete each task, you'll check it off until everything in this phase is done, change the task status to done, and move the progress bar accordingly. Finally, you'll go back to the pipeline folder and change the status for your client to proposal. In case the lead doesn't qualify for the proposal, just change its sales status to not qualified or drag and drop it to the not qualified column. It can stay there as long as you want to help you learn in the future who might be a good fit and who not to contact in the first place. This is how you'll complete the tasks in the rest of the stages as well. Don't forget to change the status in the pipeline folder every time a stage is completed. You can of course customize the entire process to fit your needs and add any relevant information to tasks such as attachments, checklists, labels, and so on. You can also edit existing labels in case you want more than to do, doing, and done. You can delete any item that you need and then add a completely new one. It all depends on what you want your sales process to look like. And once you come to the end of the closed tasks and check off the Start the Onboarding process, you can officially consider a client closed. In addition to the Sales Process tab and the All Tasks tab, we also have 4 more tabs which will let you keep an eye on all tasks that your team is working on. The Calendar tab is especially useful for any meetings you might need to keep track of or the exact dates when you're supposed to be doing something. The Gantt chart lets you see all your tasks displayed in a neat timeline. You can group your items in the Gantt chart in several ways. I've chosen by sales status and get a great overview of your tasks along with their deadlines. Let's say that you need to extend the deadline for a task. Just grab the end of the item and drag it to the right. If you want to, you can also move the item to another stage right here and open up the item to see all the details. Finally, the last 2 tabs display tasks assigned to certain team members. You can do this for everyone on your team by just creating a tab and then filtering out tasks according to assignee. The 2 remaining folders in this board are called Kpis and Metrics. The KPIs folder will help you track all the goals you set for a month, quarter, or a year. In Infinity, we use the OKR goal system and decide which objective is the most important for us in a quarter or a year. In this case, we've put that yearly revenue is our most important objective, followed by leads, clients, and sales representatives. We then decide what we want our key results to be, that is, what we want to achieve in the upcoming months and by the end of the year. This system helps us keep an eye on our goals at all times and which ones we managed to achieve and which ones we didn't. By doing so, we can set more realistic goals for the next year. The Metrics folder is there to help you track your metrics on, again, a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis, which can too help you improve your overall performance and efficiency. You can track leads, close clients, calls, revenue, and a lot more, and then use formulas to calculate, for example, different conversion rates, or ARPU, like we did in this table. You can also use the summary option beneath each column to get a sum or an average of the numbers you input in the table. With this system in place, you'll definitely be able to improve your sales process in the long run and close more clients. And this brings us to the end of part 1 of our training. You can check out the template client CRM and sales pipeline right below the video and see how you like to organize and manage your own CRM in Infinity. And whenever you're ready, head over to video number 2 and find out how you can create a great onboarding process for your clients.